Hi, today we're making beet dip. It's not an original recipe. The original recipe comes from Simply Recipes, and I will link to that down below in the comments. They call it beet hummus. Maybe it is hummus, maybe it isn't hummus. It depends who you ask. There are no chickpeas in it, but there is tahini and there is lemon. So yeah, everything gets called hummus these days. I call it beet dip. Shout out to my friend Tracy, who is the one that requested that I make this on camera. She had it when I brought it to a gathering of friends and really enjoyed it, which is great. The reason that I brought it to the gathering is because it fits a lot of different lifestyle diet choices. It is not only vegetarian, it happens to be vegan. It is Whole30 approved. It is high fiber and low fat, blah, 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 all sorts of good things. Whether it's paleo or keto depends on who you ask, apparently, because beets are controversial because they have a lot of natural sugar in them.
It's just good.
But the main reason I make it is because it's super tasty, but also if you're taking it to a gathering, it's good to know that it checks a lot of those boxes. So we're starting with, this is about 225 grams, which is about half a pound for non-metric people, of cooked peeled beets. Now I boiled these beets. You can roast them, you could steam them. You could probably cook them in the microwave. But anyway, you're looking for about a half pound or 225 grams of cooked peeled beets. And then we have lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. This is about 4 tablespoons. The original recipe calls for 5, but 4 tablespoons is what I got out of 2 lemons. And since the recipe originally called for the zest of 2 lemons, I was not going to cut open another lemon just to get more juice. So we've got the zest of 2 lemons there.
Question for you.
Yes.
Is what would you say to people who wanted to use real lemon or something that comes already in a little plastic thing with a nice little picture of a lemon on it, as opposed to using actual lemons?
I personally don't like the flavor of real lemon, which is why I wouldn't use it. That being said, if real lemon is something that you use all the time, you know, I suppose you could substitute it, but then you're not going to have the lemon zest, and the lemon zest is integral to this particular recipe. If you make it without, it's really not going to taste as good. So go buy 2 lemons. That's all you need. Okay. I also wanted to say, this is what I use for zesting. This is called a microplane or a micro zester. This one's actually, I believe, from a hardware store, but you can buy them in cooking stores as well. If you don't have something like this for zesting, you can use one of the sides of a cheese grater. We'll also do that, or a fine grater of any sort that you happen to have. You're looking for a very fine grating of just the yellow part of the lemon. That's what's called the zest. Leave the white part behind because it's more bitter. This is 2 tablespoons of tahini. There are all sorts of different kinds of tahini. This one happens to be a Greek one. I also have Lebanese, happens to be one of my favorites as well. There are ones that are made with toasted sesame seeds and ones that are made with raw. I think this one's raw. Both are good in this, so you do you, okay? Then we have what looks like a lot more, but it's not, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin that I ground right before we started filming, because we buy our cumin whole.
Would you toast that first before you ground
it? I didn't, because I think in this case, the cumin flavoring would be overpowering if I toasted it. If I was making a masala for Indian food, yeah, I'd toast it. But in this recipe, where the original writer of the recipe was probably using ground cumin from a jar from the supermarket, you're not going to want to toast it, because they probably would have used less cumin in their recipe if they were doing that. And this is 1 small clove of garlic peeled and chopped. And you don't have to be too careful about how finely you chop it because it's going in the food processor.
Excellent.
So this is super quick. We're just going to put those cooked beets into the food processor, and I'm using the top bit here because this is not a big recipe. Everything goes in. So there's your lemon juice. And you know what? If you make this once and you decide it's too lemony or not lemony enough, I recommend it. Just make it again and do the amount you like. I saw in the comments of the original recipe that someone said, ooh, too lemony, never making that again. And I thought, why wouldn't you just make it again? If that was your only objection, make it again and decrease the lemon.
So the written recipe just says, do whatever the heck you want.
No, my recipe says, do whatever the heck you want. So there's the tahini.
Teeny weeny tahini.
Cumin and garlic.
Now, is there no salt involved in this?
I'm going to put that in at the end.
Ah, crafty devil you.
It's more of a salt and pepper to taste kind of thing.
Okay.
So, one of the other things that I love about this dip, it's not just that it's super tasty and that it, you know, everybody likes it except those people who don't like beets. The color is amazing. So, hold on, we got some noise here. I'm just going to stop that so that I can scrape it down. You can get a look at the color there already. How beautiful that is.
Now, do you add olive oil or anything to
Nope.
it? It's just, that's
As
just,
I
just
said,
pureed
this is
vegetable, huh?
low fiber, or sorry, low fat, high fiber from the beets. Pretty darn healthy, I think. According to my tenets of what makes something healthy. If you wanted to put more protein in this, because a lot of people seem to be looking for more protein these days, I did one time make it by adding some plain Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt to it, which goes along with the zingy flavor of the lemon and works really well. Of course, it's no longer vegan at that point, but...
Are you done already?
I am.
Oh my goodness.
So it doesn't get 100% smooth, and you know what? That's okay. You can see there are a few tiny little specks of beet in there, and that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever, even if I puree it longer, it won't get totally smooth. I don't think beets do. So that shouldn't stop you from making it or thinking that it should be smooth. I don't think it ever gets 100% smooth. So what we're gonna do, the recipe calls for a pinch of salt. That kind of works for me. We'll put a little bit of pepper in there, and then we'll give it another whiz.
And you're ready for a book club argument.
Yeah, it's good, you know. That's more cumin, I think, than the last time I made it, even though, like I said, I was following the recipe. Maybe we have fresher cumin this time. But I like cumin, so that's okay. This is good with breads of any sort, flatbreads or any other kind of bread. It's also really good with veggies, like dipping carrots into it, cucumber, that kind of thing. So there you go. Super quick, tasty, healthy, and look at the color on that.
Oh,
if you scoop that into a bowl, and you can drizzle a little olive oil on top if you like, but you don't need to. You can sprinkle a little extra cumin if you like, a little lemon zest on top for presentation, or you can just leave it with that beautiful color, surround it with bread and vegetables, and offer it to the people you love. Real food.